Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe if you are enjoying what you are hearing. Now, on to today's story. I'm out of ideas. Advice. Hi. I just have some stuff that I need to get off my chest. I need to get it out, because it feels like poison filling my body right now. Strap in, cause it's going to be a long one. My H and I have been together nearly 20 years, 17 of those married. We have 2 adult sons that are at home during COVID, so it's been kinda close in our house, but it is what it is. We have had our ups and downs over the years, but we've always been a happy couple, one of those couples that other people are jealous of actually. We like the same stuff, have similar hobbies, but not in a weird, codependent way. The pandemic affected him differently right away. He's essential, so he worked outside every day, while I worked from home. He started acting weird early on, and I just attributed it to COVID shit. Everyone was acting weird. Then in the spring, out of the blue, he starts going out with his friends. Once or twice a week, meeting with people after work, etc. I was supportive of this, even though it was out of character for him. So even though he's not really the going out type, I was for it so he could decompress and be around people who were going through similar shit. Then, in the late spring and early summer, he started getting overcritical of me, of our boys, just generally being a dick when he was home. This went on for a few months, with us arguing more, and growing further apart. He went out one night, and left his tablet at home. I don't snoop, and never had up to this point, but I picked it up and started scrolling through, as it was attached to his phone through the cloud. I found dozens of pictures back and forth between him and a woman. Basically, spank pictures. Video clips of her masturbating, and him sending the same back to her. During this time, we were barely having sex. The few times that we tried, he would go soft immediately. I just figured he was going through some shit, and we would get through it. Then I found all these pictures and videos, and it became clear that he was not in fact going through some shit in general with his life, he was just going through some shit with me. He obviously wasn't having a hard time getting it up for these videos, after all. I confronted him immediately, and he came rushing home, basically lying the whole time. It's not what it looks like, you don't understand, blah blah blah. Of course, we had it out really good, but I felt like it was actually a positive development in the end. We had been growing further apart, and I felt like these interactions were our wake-up call to fix our relationship. He swore to me that the pics were as far as it went. Things got better after that, with him being more attentive, and me being more attentive as well. After all, he explained to me that the reason this happened was because he was needing validation that he was not getting at home. Yes, I fell for that BS and actually felt responsible. I know, I'm a dumbass. But I'm also depressed. And I've been on medication for several years. Sometimes my sex drive just bottoms out, and we can go a couple weeks at a time without having sex. So yes, I took some of the blame for this. Completely innocently, I logged on to our cell phone carrier about a week ago to shop for a new phone. The first thing it shows is your usage, and his was off the charts high. I have asked him repeatedly if he has been in contact with this woman since then, and he has assured me that he has not. Turns out, he never stopped talking to her. There are conversations in his call history, some of them over an hour long. Nearly every day. It does not appear that they are texting back and forth, but the absence is so suspicious on our bill after so many calls back and forth, that I have to assume that he's using some other way to text and send pictures to her as well. I simply don't know what to do at this point. He has been absolutely wonderful to me over the last couple of months. I mean, sending love songs in the middle of the day and dancing in the kitchen is wonderful. It's like it was in the old days. I am heartbroken, and I don't even know what to make of all of this. If you made it this far, thank you. I need some help and I don't know what to do. Please help me. Okay, I'm ready to take this on now. Advice. Hi all. I'm back for some more advice. I posted a couple days ago about my husband being in contact with a woman he had been having an EA with since March. Turns out what I thought was North Carolina never happened. To my knowledge they have been communicating the whole time. Now, had a very weird, beautiful day with him yesterday. Finishing up Christmas shopping, lots of affection and joking around. You would think he's the happiest guy in the world if you didn't know he spends like an hour a day on the phone with someone else. I have no idea if they are physically seeing each other or not, and that's where you all come in. How do I track his cell? How do I read his texts? I need info and I don't know how to get it. I just realized something very, very sad. Rant. I am a BS. First D-Day of EA was in September. The communication was supposed to stop, but it never did, apparently. Second D-Day was earlier this month. I told WS the only way we would be moving forward was with counseling. So he started therapy today for the first time. After his appointment I told him I was proud of him. I have suggested therapy at different points in our marriage and he has always kind of blew it off. Why am I now put in a position to be proud of him for trying to learn to function in a way that doesn't hurt me? We have been together for 20 years, FFS. We have built a home and raised kids and helped each other through illness, family drama, and death of loved ones. And now our relationship is reduced to, go see this person so he or she can try to help you stop being a lying asshole to someone who has supported you through the worst times of your adult life. This is such a messed up way to live. I don't know if I can do it. Take my power. Decided to go scorched earth. Update. Hi, all. First of all, I want to thank everyone who commented and reached out to me the other day when I was trying to wrap my head around my current situation. It really meant a lot to me to know there's so many people put there rooting for me. I can't thank you enough for pulling me out of that dark place and reminding me that I'm worth more than what my WS is giving me. Now that my head's on straight and I have thought about what he's doing to me, I'm more pissed off than hurt. I have had months to process the hurt, and it has become apparent to me that he is just not going to stop lying and breaking his marriage vows. So, I contacted a lawyer yesterday to get the ball rolling. I'm sending in my retainer on Monday, and he will be served in 10 to 14 days. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and my head down until then and act as normal as possible. I really want to be here to see his face when he is served. The time has come for me to take back my power and I can't think of a better way to start. Wish me luck. These next 2 weeks are going to be rough. But I think it will be worth it in the end. Thanks again for the support and the love. What, exactly, made me think I was so special? Update. Total stream of consciousness post here. Might not make much sense but here goes. I have been posting here for a couple months. Together nearly 20 years, married for 17.5 of them. His EA started in March 2020. We had a pretty great relationship up until then, or so I thought. I spent several months trying to figure out what the hell was going on with him. He would be fine, and we would have fun and laugh and things would be normal. Then, he would be distant and snippy and critical and there was nothing I could do right. Around late August/early September, I finally broke down and went through his stuff. I found loads of sexual pics back and forth between him and another woman. Of course, I freaked out and confronted him right away. He told me he was sorry, how he was lonely because we had not been having much sex, we weren't having sex because he was rejecting me, but whatever, how he felt distant, blah blah. I, of course, lapped it up. It was my fault, because I was on depression meds that killed my libido. Even though I had spent the past 6 months at that point trying to fix the problem. We had some great talks, and I thought, hey, maybe me finding these pics is just the warning we needed to get our marriage back on track. After all, it was my fault we got so far off track, right? FML, things are going okay up until January. We were getting back to being ourselves, had a trip away with friends, and I supported him through the death of his father. It was a hard time, but it brought us closer. Then, in January, spidey senses start tingling again. I check our phone bill, and guess what? The communications had never stopped. Hours-long phone calls, every other day or so. While I was cooking his newly widowed mother a ham so she would not have to spend her first Christmas alone, he was at work. Turns out, the first thing he did Christmas morning upon leaving our home was call her. So, I confront him again. This time, I'm pissed and not hurt. I yell and throw shit, tell him I'm done with his bullshit. He leaves for a couple days, and comes back. Assures me that it's all been on the phone, he just leans on her for support because she's always positive and he needs that in his life. Again, a subtle dig at the depressed woman he's married to and how I'm not always his cheerleader. Whatever. So, now here we are. I posted last week about how he had started IC and seemed to be dedicated to doing whatever he needed to do to get our marriage back on track. He understood that what he did was ducked up and that he was on very thin ice. He seemed remorseful and said all the right things. This past weekend, we were on a trip. He plugged his phone into the rent car, and one of his most recently visited addresses pops up and I don't recognize it. I go home and do some digging and guess what? It's her apartment. So I go to an old tablet he doesn't use anymore and plug in the location services. He has been to this address dozens of times, as recently as the day before. I am such a ducking idiot. I'm embarrassed by how many chances I have given this man and how badly I wanted to believe that he loved me enough to not hurt me in the worst way, and it just keeps getting worse. So I ask again, what made me think I was so special that I would have a different outcome than all of the other posters on here? Who's delusional, him or me? I'm shattered and looking at divorce attorneys now. I made the smart decision to keep myself to myself for the time being and get my ducks in a row. Sorry this was so long, I just had to get it all out. If I don't do it here, I'll explode on him and then I will have tipped my hand. Wish me luck, all, and thanks if you made it this far. Just filed. Need support. I just sent a retainer to an attorney to get this ball rolling. My STBXH, wow, I haven't typed the put before it kinda hurts, will be served in 10 to 14 days and I can finally start to heal. Take my energy. Getting harder and harder to keep my mouth shut. Need support. Hey all. I'm back again for more shoring up. If you have been following my saga, go to my profile if you want to get caught up. I have recently found out that what I thought was an EA that my STBXH was having in the summer was actually a PA that started sometime last winter. I have found tons of info over the past couple weeks, hotels, weekends that I thought he was with the boys when he was with her. I've filed and he doesn't know yet. He's still under the impression that I believe the lies he told me in January about how the affair was never physical. I'm trying to keep my mouth shut so that he can be served and vacate the premises in the same day. I don't want to have to sit through more bullshit crying, and apologizing, and blah blah like I have already done. I also don't want to give him time to start hiding assets and erasing evidence before I'm ready. If you would have asked me a month ago if I thought he would do any of this, I would have laughed and told you there was no way. But now, I don't trust him to do the right thing, obviously, so I feel like I need to hit him hard when he doesn't expect it. It will be like 10 to 14 days until he's served toe and I'm going insane here. Keeping this all in is giving me migraines and making my stomach hurt. I'm so disgusted that, 1, he did this during a ducking pandemic. I had COVID early on, and now I have to think about the possibility that I got it from him. He never got sick, but that doesn't really mean anything, does it? 2, I have not been with another man in 20 plus years, and I now get to humiliate myself by going to the doctor to get an STD panel done. 3, he comes home and acts like nothing is going on. I can see his location services, and I know when he's been with her nearly every day. He comes home, we talk about our days, he eats dinner with all of us, jokes around. It's surreal to see him act like he has always acted, knowing what I know. He's been having little soldier troubles, It's worn out is all, for a few weeks now, so at least I don't have to worry about sex. But just laying next to him in the bed, knowing what I know, is torture. I'm going back and forth between rage and a bottomless well of sadness. I look around our home and I see memories everywhere. I don't know how he could do this to me, to our kids, to our extended families. We have been together a long time and our families are very important to us both. How do I look at my Mill, whom I love as much, if not more LOL, than my own mother, and tell her why I'm divorcing her son? She just lost her husband and now this. At least my Phil isn't here to see what a disgusting, amoral, selfish, weak pig he raised. He would be heartbroken to know this. The other part of me wants to throw all his shit on the lawn and tell everyone what he did. I want to scratch his eyes out and beat the hell out of him. I just need to come here and vent periodically so I can keep myself in check for a few more days. If you made it this far, thanks for hearing me. How do I rent an apartment? Update. Actual question asked of me by my ducking idiot SDBXH after I confronted him with the knowledge that I know what he's been doing for a year. If you've been following my whole saga, then you know. He spent 3 hours lying to me, and saying how sorry he was before I told him to stop lying. I told him I know that his emotional affair didn't stop with phone calls or exchanged pics like I originally thought in January, and that I now know that it has been a PA the entire time, since last March. He has exposed me to STDs, taken time away from our family and our relationship while we were working on it, spent money and time on her, taking her to places that were ours, places that we have gone together many times. All he could say was he's sorry, and that he wished it never happened. No acknowledgement of the fact that it didn't happen, but that he made many choices over the past year, conscious decisions that he knew would hurt our family and devastate me if anyone found out. I asked him what his end game was, how he saw this all playing out, and he just said he thought things would get better between us. How? How was that supposed to happen, when his time, attention, affection were aimed at another person? He told me that his year-long affair didn't take anything away from our relationship. LOL, I can't tell if he actually believes that. We finished off this extravaganza at 2 in the morning, with him asking me how to rent an apartment. Seriously? I told him to take his ass to the closet where the luggage I bought him was organized because I organized it. Then Phil said luggage with the clothes I bought, washed, dried, and folded, and please leave. I mean, WTF. This is a man-child that has literally never had to take care of himself. We have been together since our early 20s. And he will now apparently have to depend on a woman who is so pathetic that she was content to sit on the sidelines and wait with her legs spread for a married man who never had any intention of leaving his wife. I think he's in for a very rude awakening. This whole thing is surreal and I can't believe this is my life. This is harder than D-Day. Need support. Getting ready to drop the bomb on my adult sons. I know I'm not responsible for breaking their hearts, but that's not going to make it any easier when I have to see their faces. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Have an awesome day or night, wherever you are.